good evening. Welcome back to Attack Wrap, our first episode of 2023. Happy holidays, happy new year. Glad to be back inside the Rogers TV studio. Zach Scribner and Adrien Mouseeau joined alongside Taos Jordan and Teddy Sawyer, two defensemen for the Owen Sound Attack. With the new year, we've been off for a few weeks. Adrien, there's a lot to catch up on. Let's first go on with the OHL Player of the Week. Vancouver Canucks prospect Connor Lockhart of the Peterborough Petes is the Coachco OHL Player of the Week, posting 4 goals, 5 assists, and 9 points in 3 games, along with a plus-minus rating of +7. Lockhart helped the Petes take 3 wins last week, extending their current win streak to 5 games. He had a goal and an assist as the Petes defeated Mississauga 5-1 on Thursday. Lockhart's success continued on Friday as he contributed 4 helpers in a 6-2 road win over Kitchener. The Petes forward finished the weekend with a natural hat-trick in the second period Sunday as Peterborough opened the new year with a 6-1 victory over their rivals, the Oshawa Generals. Michael Simpson of the Peterborough Petes is the OHL Goaltender of the Week for the second time this season, posting a 2-0 record with a 1 goals against average and .973 save percentage, helping Peterborough close out the 2022 calendar year with the victories. Simpson turned aside 40 of the 41 shots he faced in the first star performance versus the Steelheads. He then made 33 saves in that 6-1 win over Oshawa Sunday. Gavin Bryan is the Owen Sound Attack's Player of the Week. Gavin was the hero Wednesday evening as he scored the overtime winner versus the Kitchener Rangers. Bryan followed that up with a goal and an assist versus the Barrie Colts Friday. Since returning from injury just before the Christmas break, he's recorded at least 1 point per game. Let's now get you caught up with the OHL standings, starting out with the Western Conference. The Saginaw Spirit remained first in the Western Conference, but Adrien, they do have some pieces that they could move at the deadline.
Pavel Menchikov is the big fish in the pond on the defensive end. We'll see if he gets moved or if they hang on to him. They've been moving a lot of their big guys, like Josh Bloom, captain of the team, went to North Bay. So it'll be interesting to see if the Saginaw Spirits move the big Russian defenseman. Tristan
Lennox, another name that could be moved as well in Saginaw. London has acquired Ryan Winterton and Ryan Humphreys from the Hamilton Bulldogs. Interesting to note, Luca Testa, Carson Lloyd, and a second were sent to Hamilton. Testa was the first-round pick traded from the most recent OHL draft class. London are first in the Midwest Division and just 1 point back of Saginaw for the top spot in the conference. The London Knights in action against the Guelph Storm tonight. 3 games going on around the league. We'll try to keep you updated throughout the evening. Windsor sits third in the conference. They trade away a combined 11 draft picks to Sudbury and Oshawa today, acquiring Jacob Holmes from the Sudbury Wolves and Brett Harrison from the Oshawa Generals. Adrien, do you think Windsor sits pat now as the trade deadline approaches?
I think they might want to go get a defenseman as well to bolster their back end, but getting Brett Harrison gives a nice 1-2 punch alongside Matthew Maggio.
The Sarnia Sting and the Owen Sound Attack are tied for 4th in the Western Conference. One team that remains quiet, the Flint Firebirds, who are 6th with 37 points. They traded their captain earlier on this year. Do the Firebirds have any more moves coming up?
It'll be interesting to see if they get rid of Riley Piercy. That would be a big overager to go. He's a big 6'3" power forward. We saw him here at the Bayshore in last playoffs and what an impact he can have. It'll be interesting to see if one of the big teams, maybe the Ottawa 67, somebody like that, can bolster up their attack by getting Riley Piercy.
Going back to the standings, the Kitchener Rangers, they sit 7th in the Western Conference right now. They won't be in that position for much longer. They made huge moves to bolster their team. Today they acquired Danny Zhilkin and an 8th-round pick for Jesse Fishman and 6 draft picks. Moves that come to mind recently, Leighton Moore acquired Francesco Arcuri from the Kingston Frontenacs, and now Danny Zhilkin. You take a look at the Western Conference standings and the Eastern. We'll get to that in a minute. Just so many teams that are all in this year.
Yeah, the Kitchener Rangers obviously didn't like where they were sitting early on when they got Marco Constantini to bolster up their goaltending and him when Jackson Parsons fell. And now they go out and get a big name in Danny Zhilkin, who slot second line, maybe third line center on that team with Francesco Arcuri as their first line, or Francesco Pinelli, sorry, as their first line center. So the Kitchener Rangers are all in, but they're still only sitting in 7th spot. They made all those moves before. They're 6-2-1, I believe, in the last 9 games. So they're on the up and up, that's for sure.
The Sioux Greyhounds, they're 8th in the Western Conference. They traded Tyler Savard to the Barrie Colts earlier today. In 9th are the Guelph Storm, and then the Erie Otters round out in 10th. Erie made a move earlier on in the week acquiring Pano Fimis. Fimis was a 2nd overall pick to the Niagara Ice Dogs in the 2020 OHL draft. The Erie Otters sent 5 draft picks to Niagara. Erie, of course, moving Christian Kyrou a few weeks ago. This just looks like a move for the future for the Erie Otters.
100%. The draft-eligible Pano Fimis goes to Erie, bolster up their offensive for years to come. It's a move for the future. And a little interesting tidbit, as we saw on the screen there, Erie receives their 2nd-round pick back. Kind of weird how things come full circle, yeah.
Now to the Eastern Conference, the Ottawa 67s remain 1st in the conference. They have a 4-point edge on the North Bay Battalion. The 3rd place, Barrie Colts, are hopeful Brant Clark will get sent back to them following the conclusion of the World Juniors. They sit 1 point ahead of the 4th place Peterborough Petes. The Kingston Frontenacs have dropped to 5th in the conference with 36 points. I mentioned they trade their top scorer in Francesco Arcuri a few weeks ago. The Hamilton Bulldogs, they're another interesting team to keep an eye on this year. They have a pair of overagers with championship experience, one of them their captain. They could get hefty returns for both.
Absolutely. Oh, the name's blanking on me right
Logan
now.
Morrison.
Logan Morrison, there it is. Avery Hayes in 03 and 02 Logan Morrison, who's tops of the league in scoring, top 10 for sure, and he was the playoff MVP. If somebody can get Logan Morrison on their team, and maybe one of the teams at the top there, bolster up their offensive output. He's a guy that can play center, can play wing, and has a lethal shot. And Logan Morrison could be a good piece for any team.
Now, on our last episode, we had Nick and Sam here, and going through the OHL standings, take a look at that 7th spot. The Mississauga Steelheads, they might have been top 4, top 5 on our last episode. Now they dropped to 7th, really missing out on Ethan Del Mastro, their captain, who was away at World Jays, and now Owen Beck was added after Colton Dock went down with an injury.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if the Mississauga Steelheads stay put and build for next year, or if they, with Owen Beck being the leader, or Owen Beck could sign with Montreal Canadiens next year, and Ethan Del Mastro signs with the Chicago Blackhawks, and then all this goes for nothing. So they might be a team to watch in the next week if they decide to make some trades.
The Sudbury Wolves, they're 8th in the Eastern Conference with 27 points. That's 1 point ahead of Oshawa. And then Niagara sits last in the conference with 21 points. Next up, let's now take a look at the top 10 scorers in the Ontario Hockey League. Ty Voigt, still the top scorer in the league with 56 points. 47 of them are assists. Logan Morrison, we just mentioned a piece. Hamilton can move at the deadline. You'll get a hefty return for their OA captain, who's 2nd in league scoring with 53 points. Pavel Minchikov has 14 points in his last 5 games, and he's a defenseman. He's 3rd in league scoring with 51 points. Kyle Jackson and Matthew Maggio are tied for 4th in league scoring with 48 points. David Goyette and Amadeus Lombardi are tied with 47 points, one ahead of Matvey Petrov. Quinton Musty is 9th in league scoring with 45 points, 2 points ahead of 4 players, including Colby Barlow, who round out the top 10.
An interesting name on that list is Amadeus Lombardi. Just signed this week his entry-level deal with the Detroit Red Wings. It might be another fish to move come the trade deadline.
Now let's finish off with the Owen Sound Attack's top 10 in scoring. We mentioned Captain Colby Barlow leads the way, 4 points ahead of Cedric Guindon. Congratulations to Cedric. This past Wednesday was his 100th career OHL game. Denny Gore has missed the last 4 games for Owen Sound. He's 3rd in team scoring with 37 points. Another congratulations, huge congratulations to Servac Petrovsky on his World Junior Tournament. He'll be in the lineup this weekend. He's 4th in team scoring with 28 points. Ethan Burrows recently scored his 10th goal of the season. He sits 5th in the team scoring with 26 points. Next Wednesday, Matthew Pappas will get to play against his former team in the Niagara Ice Dogs. He's tied for 6th in team scoring with Sam Sedley, the two of them both having 26 points. LA Kings prospect Caleb Lawrence is 8th in team scoring with 20 points. That's 6 ahead of Julian Fantino and Nolan Seed. 2 players tied for 10th in team scoring, Gavin Bryan and Tomislav Brennan with 12 points.
Guys, we've been here 10 minutes and we haven't even said hello to our guests. So Taos, Teddy, welcome to the show. Number 2 and number 3 on the ice, but number 1 and number 2 on the show tonight. Welcome. How was your holidays?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, flew by, but it was nice being home from Columbus, so I got to travel the border, but got to spend some time with my sister. She goes to Indiana, so that was nice. I got to see her and see the parents, obviously, so Cool.
And yourself, Taos?
Yeah, it was great going home to see my family and friends. Got a lot of catching up to do with them, but for the short period of time, it was a good time.
Very nice. So now, what might be your favorite thing when you go back home? What's the favorite thing at the Christmas time that you like to do with the family?
Oh, probably just lay on the couch, watch the movies. Honestly, I was pretty tired come Christmas time, so definitely a good time to relax.
Yeah, for me, it's always going to my grandparents' house. So my family every year go to their house for Christmas, so we go spend the day there, and it's always a blast. So.
Now it's January 3rd. Usually with the new year comes some new resolutions. Do you guys have any New Year's resolutions?
I would say maybe go on a little run, a little winning streak here. So it's definitely it.
Yeah, definitely the same as him, but also just getting better every day is my goal.
I'm sure the fans of the Owen Sound Attack
like to hear that.
A little winning streak now.
Right, 100%. Yeah.
Now the World Junior quarterfinals were yesterday. Once again, congratulations to Servek Petrovsky for all the success he and Team Slovakia had, almost upsetting the heavy favored Canadians. Have the two of you been watching much of the World Juniors this year?
Not so much, honestly. We've been pretty busy ourselves at the rink every day working on our stuff. Like, we got our own game to work on. So I've been following along a bit. Our trainer, Brownie's there, so cheering him on, of course. Yeah, so not too much, honestly.
Yeah, same with me. We have stuff to do here, like getting better. So if we can fit the time in, we can. If not, then we just pray for them that they're doing well.
So Teddy mentioned he's from Ohio, so chirping battle with all the rest of the boys for USA and Canada, or no?
Not so much. I'm not really buddies with anybody on the USA team. Yeah, kind of staying out of that.
Now, guys, let's start off talking about this past summer. What were the two of you working on to improve your game for this upcoming season?
More so just the skill part of my game. I feel I can definitely contribute a little more on that end. Getting pucks in on net from the blue line, hitting the net, obviously. Just kind of working around, maybe put up some more points here and there. So I'd say definitely a skill game. Like, I look at guys like Ty Boyd in the league. He's one of my best buddies, and just working out with him, like, he's got the most unreal hands. So aspire to be like that someday.
Hey, those hands were on full display this past week when you ripped. So it's coming.
You filled the net later on. We'll take a look at the highlights. What were you working on this summer?
Yeah, this summer I was working on a lot of my skating and a lot of puck handling, and as well as physicality, because that's a big part of my game on the ice. So that's really what I've been working on throughout the summer.
Now, Teddy, you were acquired by the Attack prior to the regular season, just a day before that game in London. Did you have a feeling you were going to be on the move before the start of the year?
I would say a couple days before, maybe about a week. I knew there was a little bit of talk going on, and then it wasn't until about the day before they were like, okay, if you were to get moved, it would probably be tomorrow. And then next thing you know, I'm driving to Owen Sound, playing the next day. So it all worked out well. It was awesome.
So up until the trade, you've never played at the Bayshore. You didn't make an appearance in your rookie year, of course. COVID scratched out the East-West matchups last year. Did you know much about Owen Sound before moving here?
No, not much at all. It was a pretty big change, honestly, especially not playing any of these teams over the COVID year. So I'm not too familiar with any of the players. Just play everybody the same. So it's definitely been a great fit for myself.
Now, Taos, last year you played in 54 games, a little bit in and out at the start, but then really found your role as a shutdown defenseman, kind of alongside Igor and Mark Woolley. Did you learn a lot from them last year?
Yeah, I learned a lot from Mark and Igor. They definitely showed me like how to embrace my game to its full potential, and without them, I probably wouldn't be in this position right now.
Now, you were the whole story about you were sent home last year, and then you came back as a 12th round pick, really cemented yourself. You just said that Mark and Igor had a real impact on you. What was the biggest difference last year to this year, now that you're a veteran of the league and a mainstay on the back end?
Definitely confidence. Like, I lacked confidence a lot last year, especially during the start, like you said. But I have found my game now, and I'm comfortable where I'm at. So.
Now you guys have eight defensemen on the back end. To the both of you, knowing that there could be interchanging parts, or if somebody's hurt, somebody else is filling in the shoes. What does that do, knowing that there's 8 guys that are really OHL defensemen on your team?
Yeah, how old you are, where you come from, it doesn't matter. Whoever's playing best is going to play, so you're fighting for your spot every day, and that's how I look at it.
Yeah, with me, every day is a competition, right? So that's how I look at it and just go by the day. So.
Now, you guys have definitely been in the shoes of maybe Braden Rogers gets sad a little bit because he's 16-year-old. He's learning the league. What do you guys say to Braden on tough days or a weekend where he doesn't play a game or he gets scratched on a Friday and then comes in on Saturday? What's the mindset of you guys as leaders on the back end to go up to a young kid like that?
Yeah, I think just knowing that we've all been there. Like my first year, I was scratched every third game. I would say we had guys like Noel Hoffenmeyer, Kevin Ball, Nikita Hokyuk, like all AHL, NHL players. So it's nuts. Well, I kind of lucked out with injuries on that front. So yeah, just know that you're gonna get your run. You're here for a reason. Keep with it.
Now, Taos, there were questions leading into this season about who's going to step into Mark Woolley's role as the physical player on the team. What did you learn from your captain last season in terms of just that element of physicality in this Ontario Hockey League?
Just watching Mark from last year, like just knowing that he had no fear going into any games and knowing that he was not afraid of anybody. And I really took that to heart. So this past summer, I'd work on going against the biggest guys that I could find and making sure that I wasn't afraid of them and I stepped up to the challenge every time.
Now, Teddy, I believe there was a familiarity here with one of the assistant coaches here in Owen Sound with Sean Teagle and yourself. How did he help bring you into Owen Sound, maybe become a little familiar here with the attack and the city of Owen Sound?
Yeah, well, him and as well as all the other coaches, they were great. But when I got here, he welcomed me with big arms, and has been a great mentor, a great friend, great buddy ever since I've been here. Got a little nickname. He's a big stepper. But yeah, he's been great. He's the best.
Now, Taos, next question for you. Last year, number 2, this year, 24. What was with the change?
2, I didn't feel it. I felt like I needed a change, and I thought a new number would do the trick, and 24 hits home to me because that's my house number back home, and it really had a meaning to it rather than just having just random number on.
Very good.
I like that.
That's a nice answer. Guys, it's a new year resolution. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but for the Owen Sound attack, we have basically half a season left. What should the fans at home expect from you guys in this 2023 season going into the playoffs?
Nothing but the best. I feel like we're working hard every single day. We got a ton of skill, a ton of great players on our team. We got the best atmosphere in the league. Playing at the Bay Shore, it's unreal. So their support means the world to us, and just keep it up.
Yeah, like he said, we're going to be a playoff team, and just know that the fans out there just know that we're coming for the cup this year.
Now, Teddy, we mentioned it a little earlier. You came in from the Western Conference to the Eastern, or from the Eastern to the Western Conference. What might have been some changes that you saw in the styles of play that both conferences have?
I would say just all the different players, like similar structure-wise, but just the skill's a little different in each conference. So just adjusting to that, the different speeds, like how the gaps are. But yeah, it's hard to explain. It's more of an on-ice thing, adjusting mentally. So
yeah,
but yeah, it's different for sure.
Who might be one player in the Western Conference that when you came over, you're like, oh, he's better than what I thought?
I feel like playing against Mouseeau this past little bit, he's impressed me, so got to lock him down.
Now, coming over from Ottawa and Taos, I'm interested to hear your answer as well. What's your favorite rivalry that the team has? There's lots. What's your favorite?
That's a great question. I feel like playing in London's been unreal. That's pretty neat. I like Kitchener as well, but I would say the London rivalry. Yeah, I really want to beat those guys up for sure.
Yeah, that's the exact same answer.
I'm interested in wondering, what was Ottawa's rivalry? Because they're kind of secluded from everybody.
Yeah, we had Kingston quite a bit, but I feel like we always went at it with Oshawa pretty hard. Yeah, I guess before it was Guelph because of that playoff series, but yeah, no, I'd say it's Kingston, Peterborough too. They're pretty big.
Now, you recently surpassed 100 OHL games. You're quickly approaching that. What are some of your favorite memories just from this your time in the OHL?
One moment that stands out is my first game. Actually, I scored in my first game, so that's pretty cool. So that's a big moment for myself. I would say being traded as well, my first game here in London, that was an amazing experience, meeting all the new players, all the new guys, and just playing in that arena.
Yeah, for me, probably my first OHL game too, just seeing all my family and friends in the stands, and just knowing I made it being a 12th rounder, really hit home for me.
The Owen Sound Attack recently completed 2 games at home. Let's take a look at the highlights from Wednesday night's game versus the Kitchener Rangers.
Curry holding it now. For Saab, bobbled it, but he gets it back. Throws it across crease. Nobody can connect. Back to the line for Schmidt. Schmidt, short pass Curry towards it. They score! A redirect in front as it bounces top corner, and the Rangers strike first. Steen off the boards. Up to Guindon. Settles it down over the blue line. Guindon across. Burrows drags and fires. He scores! The attack strike back midway through the second, and it's 1-1. Santino will leave off, and here comes Matthew Pappas. Up to the blue line. Cormier had to pull up. Goes to Teddy Sawyer, a shot, he scores! Teddy Sawyer, the D-man, joins the rush, and he makes it 2-1. For mid-blue line, one-timer coming, Pinelli, and that goes over top of the net. 8 seconds remains. Rakoff to Moore. Moore with the shot just wide of the goal. Pinelli looks at the clock. 3 seconds left. Moore's got a fire. Does he have a buzzer beater? They do! The Rangers tie it at the horn! Oh, and you've seen it all! This game is going to overtime. Owen Sound would likely looking for a change, but Guindon stepping into the zone. Guindon with a shot, and he just missed. Tried to go over the shoulder. Barlow misses, picking it up. 2-on-1. Curry and Sop. Curry waits, shoots, saved by Chenard. Owen Sound now sweeps it ahead. They could have a 2-on-1. It's Bryant with Barlow. Bryant over to Barlow. Colby Barlow for Gavin Bryant. He scores! Good night! Gavin Bryant in overtime, and the Owen Sound Attack win.
First game back at the Bay Shore, a dramatic finish against the Midwest Divisional rival, the Owen Sound Attack, picking up 2 points against the Kitchener Rangers. Now, guys, what you don't see in that highlight pack, you're entering the game in a 6-game losing streak. What was just the mood in the room before the start of that game?
Really, we just needed to win our battles, and we all said that to each other. We have each other's backs, and we just need to go out there and play our hearts out.
You saw it there. We mentioned it earlier on. Teddy Sawyer picking up his 2nd goal of the season and an assist on that overtime winner. Going back to the goal, just what did you see on that play?
Oh, it was a great assist from Pappas, and then I know Constantine's a pretty good goalie, so I was thinking I just got to go top right on him. That's pretty much it. No, but it's kind of cool. He's in my Clash Royale clan too, so I got to rub it in. No, I'm kidding.
Now, would you consider yourself a defensive defenseman?
Yeah, 100%.
So when you get the puck in the offensive zone, not that you get nervous or anything, but do you find yourself thinking a little bit more than in the defensive zone?
Oh yeah, for sure, and that's something I'm trying to work on myself. I feel like it's definitely occasionally it's a little bit hesitant because I know I have such a big defensive role to play and I can't let anybody get behind me. Like if you turn it over at the blue line, there's no one behind you besides the goalie, and don't want to hang him out to dry. So yeah, I would say just kind of got to work on moving the puck with the blue, getting my feet moving, and just getting that confidence up there.
So then you're on full display on that overtime winner, making a bigger kick save than I've seen Nick Chenard make. I'm just kidding. I can say that I'm good friends with him. But yeah, that was a huge kick save, honestly, to break up that pass and then to set them up on a 2-on-1 the other way. When you see those 2 high-powered
Francesco Curry
and Francesco Pinelli coming down on you, what's going through your mind?
Oh, I feel like it's happened so fast you can't think. It's all instinct almost. So I just know I got Rick behind me. He's gonna shut the door and just gotta do my part.
Absolutely.
Are you a big soccer guy?
No, I'm not. I get made fun of. I'm the worst soccer guy on the team. We're playing the circle, yeah.
Now, guys, Gavin Bryant returns to the lineup just before the Christmas break, and he scores that overtime winner to secure the win. What's he brought to just those 3-4 games ever since he's returned to the lineup?
He's probably, I don't even know how to explain it. He's just the best guy ever. Like in the room, he's always just such a nice guy to you. Will always say hello, and on the ice, he works his butt off. So he really plays a big role for our team.
You go up against him in practice. What do you see from Gavin Bryant that makes him so successful?
Oh, the compete effort for sure, and just how they move in the corner. You watch guys like him, Colby, Caleb Lawrence, they all determined to get that puck to the net and not let you get it. So they're pretty tough to play against.
We only have 3 minutes left before we go to break, and the Owen Sound Attack are on a road trip this weekend, but we are giving away a set of tickets for next weekend's game against the Guelph Storm. Adrien, Mouseeau, what do we got tonight?
This trivia question, we ask it often and in a lot of different ways, but it's how many players have ties to the upcoming road trip to Kingston, Peterborough, Ottawa, and will have family in the stands. Might not have family in the stands in the case of one player that might be standing to my right, but he also has ties to the Ottawa region. So that's the question. How many players have ties to the Kingston, Peterborough, Ottawa regions? And if you know the correct answer, you'll win tickets to January 14th against the Guelph Storm.
Now, Teddy, last question for you before we go to break. You returned to the lineup in the final weekend before that Christmas break. What was that entire process like for you up to that point of returning against London and Windsor?
Oh, it was definitely a pain. It was tough. I went back home, got surgery on my pinky, so that went very smoothly. I had a great surgeon and an amazing group here helping me, so I was able to return 2 weeks prior to when I was supposed to, actually, so it worked out very well. I just stayed motivated, hit the gym pretty hard. It's just a hand, right? So keep doing legs. But yeah, I was thrilled to be back, thrilled to be with the guys. Was itching for it.
Just to keep you guys updated at home across the games around the Ontario Hockey League. First off, Ryan McGuire has scored against the London Knights, assisted by former attacker Cedricson Oki-Tundu and Peyton Robinson. The Guelph Storm currently leading the London Knights 1-0 at Budweiser Gardens. The Peterborough Petes are taking on the defending OHL champions and the Hamilton Bulldogs. Peterborough is ahead 2-0. And we mentioned Brett Harrison getting moved to the Windsor Spitfires today. Oshawa going up against Mississauga. The Oshawa Generals, a 2-0 lead. Dylan Rubrek has both goals for the Oshawa Generals. So there's a scoring update around the Ontario Hockey League. Stick around on the other side of the break. We have What's in the Helmet. We still have highlights from the second game against the Barrie Colts. And Adrian's favorite segment, second favorite segment on a Tuesday evening, a new game show here on Attack Wrap. Stick around on the other side of the break. You're watching Attack Wrap on Rogers TV.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Wednesday, January 4th.
Do you think this is the right thing to do?
I think it's better than the alternative.
What are you standing around here for? Just do it.
This is a dangerous job, not some extreme sport for you to get your kicks.
Douse that fire!
We got a serial killer. Here we go.
Drop your weapon.
We find the why, it'll get us to the who.
Chicago Med, Fire, and PD. New episodes return Wednesday, January 4th on City TV.
What a night.
Or stream on City TV Plus, the app, or citytv.com.
Hey, Grey County. Think it's too late to become more fit? Think again. I'm personal trainer Karen Ross, specializing in 55-plus fitness. My mission is to help you find your way back to health and wellness. I'll give you the knowledge and the power to take control of your own fitness path. Everyone deserves quality of life for their entire life. Tune in to A Little Bit Fit with me, Karen Ross, right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Attack Wrap. Zach Scribner and Adrien Mouseeau join alongside Taos Jordan and Teddy Sawyer of the Owen Sound Attack, two defensemen for the Owen Sound Attack. There was a lot to go over around the league earlier on, so let's now take a look at the top performers across the Ontario Hockey League for the month of December. LA Kings prospect Francesco Pinelli of the Kitchener Rangers. He's the OHL Player of the Month for December, producing 8 goals, 13 assists, and 21 points in 9 games, along with a plus-minus rating of +12. Arizona Coyotes prospect Anson Thornton of the Barrie Colts is the OHL Goaltender of the Month, playing to a 5-0, 0-1 record with a 2.25 goals against average, a .945 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Thornton was busy, making at least 36 saves in all 6 of his December outings. A pair of Saginaw teammates were recognized for their impressive play in the month of December. For the 3rd straight month, Anaheim Ducks prospect Pavel Minchkov of the Saginaw Spirit is the OHL D-Man of the Month, leading all defenders with 16 points, including 2 goals and 14 assists in 10 games, along with a plus-minus rating of +8. Saginaw Spirit Blue Liner Zane Parikh is the OHL Rookie of the Month for December, recording 10 points, including 6 goals and 4 assists in 10 games, along with a plus-minus rating of +7. He recorded points in 8 of his 10 December contests, finishing the month with points in 4 consecutive games.
Now, Zach, it's a little odd to see OHL members get on the OHL Team of the Month, but not on the CHL Team of the Month, and I'm here to tell you that Seattle Thunderbirds' Jared Davidson, who threw 12 games in December, was the forward of the month alongside Matthew Maggio of the Windsor Spitfires, who had 13 goals and 11 appearances for 20 total points. Red Deer Rebels 2003-born center Kai Uchaz registered 12 goals and 6 assists and 18 points for his 10 games in December. Bo Wakey of the Barrie Colts impressed with 2 goals and 11 assists for 13 points in 10 December outings. And Moncton Wildcats defenseman Etienne Morin, who recorded 5 goals and 10 assists for 15 points in 11 contests. And the goalie for the CHL Team of the Month for the month of December is 2004-born netminder Dylan Urs, who surrendered a lone loss through 10 outings with the 2023 Memorial Cup Kamloops host Kamloops Blazers, and went 9-0-0-1 with a .914 save percentage. All doing that without their captain Logan Stankoven, who's at the World Juniors.
Now, the Owen Sound Attack going up against the Peterborough Petes in Peterborough this week. In a few weeks, they'll be here at the Bayshore for the game featured for Hockey Day in Canada. Here's a 2-minute feature in regards to Hockey Day in Canada. lot of prominent names to be featured on that Hockey Day in Canada broadcast. A lot of great stories for Ron McLean to tell. I mentioned once again the Peterborough Petes here at the Bayshore in a few weeks' time. Now, guys, is there any excitement around the team building up for that game against the Peterborough Petes, and are there any events in the city that you're looking forward to for those few days?
There hasn't been much talk about it yet, just because we're supposed to be focusing on the next coming games for this weekend. But I'm sure in the next few weeks we'll be looking forward to that.
The Owen Sound Attack had one final game of their Christmas break before they could flip the calendar to 2023. Let's take a look at the highlights from Friday evening versus the Barrie Colts.
Back at the line, punt it. Dishes it over to Tiller. Cranks and fires. Wide short side. They score! Off the end wall it comes to Ethan Cardwell. Just like we said, the Colts are certainly capable of striking at any time. Ethan Cardwell breaks the ice now. And it's going to get rolled in by McDonald. Didn't get far. Comes right back to him. Skipping puck to Frasca. Shot off the end boards, and they score again. Just like the first goal. The bounce is going the way of the Colts. Declan McDonald makes it 2-0. Over to Vierling. Vierling doesn't have the shot. Barlow stayed right in front of him. Akey now, he doesn't have one either, so he spins it back. Vierling looks to get it down to the side of the net. Frasca's knocked to his knees. Sweeps it back. Here's a point shot coming. Akey on net. Save is made. Rebound, scores! Frasca cleans it up on the power play, and it's now 3-0 for the Colts. Barlow took it off the end boards. Passes back to Nolan Seed. Wrist shot, scores! The attack needed that one. Nolan Seed gets them on the board. Sedley for Burrows, passing it across, was trying to get Barlow stepping in on the weak side. Barlow now needs some support. Puck comes loose. Coming out in front is Bryan. A shot, he scores! Gavin Bryan on the power. 20 miles to go on this Friday night, and for the 2022 calendar year when it comes to attack hockey, let's see if they can get something off the draw. Brennan scores! Oh, baby! 4 seconds, all it takes. Tomislav Brennan. Gaindong. Gaindong weaves over. He has to cut to the far side. Found Barlow, but he just couldn't get a clean shot away. Puck was rolling a little bit on him there. Now they score! Out of midair, Colby Barlow, and this game is tied. Cross crease pass, just missing on those connections. Frasca almost had the winner. Chisholm gets it off the boards, back to McDonald. Final seconds of the power play. One-timer, scores! Bo Akey in overtime, and the Colts win.
Bo Akey plays hero for the Barrie Colts, scoring on that power play with just 1 second left. The Barrie Colts defeating the Owen Sound Attack in their final game of 2022. Guys, I thought you guys had a really good first period against the Barrie Colts, one of your strongest maybe of the year, and then they capitalized on those few lucky bounces that they had. How do you guys just assess that opening 20 against Barrie?
Well, I think we played pretty hard for the first 20. We won all of our battles, but we just didn't get the bounces like you said, and we didn't come up with a win. So
one of the most memorable games this year at Sadlin Arena, Thursday night, you guys make that crazy comeback victory. You almost pulled off a comeback once again. What do you see in Barrie just that makes them such a good team to play against?
Honestly, it's just shutting down their top players and just playing our game, really. I mean, we can definitely beat them. I wouldn't consider them a great team. Personally, I think we're much better.
Once again, we'll throw out the trivia question. It's a big weekend for the Owen Sound Attack, a road trip to Kingston, Peterborough, and Ottawa.
How many players have ties with the upcoming Attack road trip to Kingston, Peterborough, and Ottawa? So there's a handful from Ottawa, there's a handful from the Kingston area, and there's one player standing beside me that played for one of those 3 teams. So I just gave you, it's more than one.
I was going to say, speaking of this Sunday, you're going up against your former team for the first time. What will those first few moments be like, just stepping back into that arena, and then those first few shifts, maybe reconnecting with your teammates Sunday in Ottawa?
Yeah, it would definitely be pretty surreal. I made a lot of great relationships there, some great people that I'll know for the rest of my life, my billets, academic advisors there, GMs, the coaching staff. So it's a pretty special moment for myself, playing 3 years there, but I'm definitely very excited.
Now, earlier on, you mentioned 3 stellar defensemen that you were honestly competing for ice time against in your rookie season. You make it all the way to the OHL finals against a very good Guelph Storm team. What do you remember from that year that you're hoping to replicate here in Owenstown, whether it be this season or next?
I would say just do everything we can. We got so much skill, so much power up front and on the back end, definitely in the pipes too. So we're just gonna make a deep run and do what we can this year.
Taos, now that we talked about it with our trivia question, there's a lot of players going to make their homecomings and play out out on the Eastern Conference for the first time. What have the boys been talking about in the room, getting excited to go back home, even though they were just home for Christmas, but make that trip and play in front of their family and friends?
That hasn't came up in conversation yet, but I'm sure a bunch of the guys are super excited to play in front of their family and friends, as I would be too. But I'm sure it'll be a blast for them.
Now, your family doesn't come far from more Oshawa area, right? Will they be going to at least the Kingston game or the Peterborough?
Yeah, a bunch of my family's coming to the Kingston and Peterborough game, so should be a blast to see them.
That's awesome.
Now, this will be another lengthy bus ride for you guys. Not the first long trip you've had, but going up to a few now. What do you guys just simply do? Kill time on the bus, have some fun with some teammates?
Play a lot of cards, watch movies. It's a lot of movies, sleep for sure. Madden Steen, incredible. He made these poker tables for the bus. It's actually unreal. Never seen anything like it before. So, yeah, it's fun.
What's the go-to movie? The first one that has to go on.
I'm more of like a TV show guy, but I'm really digging Trailer Park Boys right now. So that's what I've been watching for the whole Sioux trip. So I gotta find something else for tomorrow. But
well, I was gonna say, I assume you guys leave tomorrow after practice.
Yeah.
And there's a big hockey game on at 6:30 p.m. Will anyone be taking that game in?
I'm sure people will be watching it on the bus for sure.
Canada, USA, semifinals of the World Junior Championships. Basically the best rivalry there is for Canada, and I'm sure it'll be a very exciting game.
Andy Brown on the bench for that one.
Andy Brown, so yeah, once again, best of luck to Andy Brown. Now, I was looking up your stats, Taos, and small sample size. You're 3 for 3 on face-offs this year. Is that something that you even just work on for fun in practice?
Not at all. I'm going to be honest with you, that was all luck. I was a centerman when I was younger, so I kind of knew what I was doing a little bit, but going against some of these bigger guys who actually know what they're doing when they're taking face-offs, it's a little different. So I'm just grateful that I won all 3.
So maybe next year you'll be the next Sam Center.
Yeah, possibly.
Now, last year the team went on that 8-game losing streak and then turned it over to a lengthy point streak. What's it going to take for this team to turn up that point streak in a big upcoming weekend against some talented teams in the Eastern Conference?
Probably just staying consistent. We haven't been doing a pretty good job of that. I like having pretty crappy starts to our game, but I'm sure we'll turn it around and make something happen this weekend.
Now, you guys have been without a key piece to the lineup basically since the start of the year. There's always been 1 or 2 guys hurt. Now we got Denny Gould out of the lineup. He's sure to make his way back shortly. Once you guys have your full team, are you guys excited? Like, we mentioned it before the show that there's been a lot of trades that have happened and Owenstown's kind of staying packed. Maybe they're hoping, or Dale's hoping, that just adding Denny back to the lineup and having your full roster for the first time might be something that the team needs.
Oh yeah, definitely. Denny's unreal. He's disgusting. He's like magical with the stick. It's nuts. I can't wait to get him back for sure.
Yeah, I feel the same way. The guy's a player, so he knows what he's doing on the ice, and you can never predict what he's doing. As a defenseman, he's probably one of the hardest players to play against.
And now, guys, it's time for Grey County's favorite game show on a Tuesday night, voted by me. What's in the helmet? So how it works, Taos, you played this once last year. It was called What's in the Hat back then. We remodeled the game, and we added a helmet.
Sweet.
So questions are in the helmet.
Okay.
First thing, I'm going to read it. First thing that comes to your mind, you answer it. Because you're the vet, you're going to go last.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
All right.
All right. First question. Favorite genre of music or artist? Who's got the worst taste on the team?
I love rap. Rap's probably my favorite. Trying to think of an artist. There's a couple. I really like Drake.
What a great answer.
Yeah, and worst taste on the team? It's hard to say because a bunch of guys like rock, and I'm not really a big fan of it, so I'd probably say Steiner. just because I don't like rock. Just because I'm not.
And for yourself?
I would say rap. I like Metro's album. They dropped this year. Probably Niagara Falls is probably my favorite song. I would say Cal.
Cal, you?
Yeah.
Yes, Cal does have bad taste.
Next one. Are you guys golfers? I know Taos. Are you a golfer?
A little bit.
Your ideal golf foursome. Anybody in the world that you go on the course with? 3 other guys.
Tiger Woods. Tupac. Who else would it be? Probably Shaq. Yeah.
That'd be a fun time.
That would be a fun time.
Probably Jimi Hendrix, Angus Young, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, that's the
What a golf foursome that would be. Next question. Favorite NHL teams and how many games do you watch in a week?
My favorite's probably Pittsburgh, and I maybe watch 2 games a week.
Yeah, Philadelphia and probably 2 as well. We live together, so we're normally watching games together with our billets.
You played for the Pittsburgh Penguins growing up.
I know, yeah, I did. The Penguins elite team, but I don't know. I was a Philadelphia fan before that, so they converted me a bit. Like I don't hate the Penguins. But.
Talking about that, when growing up, did you ever meet like Sidney Crosby? Because he was part of that organization.
Yeah, not like I had a conversation with him a couple of times. We actually practiced right after them. Like we would run into like Gensel Tang at the gas station, like right down the street all the time.
I met
Lemieux a couple of times. It was pretty nuts playing there. We had a great group, and we were very fortunate to play out of that facility.
That's really cool. Okay, next question. Player you wouldn't want to be stuck in a car with for more than 2 hours?
Ricky.
Cal.
Yeah.
You lived with Ricky with Nick for a year, so yeah. I'm sure you can understand how a 2-hour car ride would go.
Exactly.
We'll go 3 more questions. Player you wouldn't want to be. Oh,
I was gonna say we got some good ones here on the sheet.
That was the same question. Celebrity crush. Who's your celebrity crush?
Megan Fox.
Madison Beer.
Who's the most superstitious player on the team?
Sam Sedley.
I agree.
Who's the most famous person to slide into your DMs?
Keel Thomas. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, my dad's actually good buddies with his dad, so like with that connection we became friends, so it's pretty neat.
I don't know. I gotta pass on that one. I have no idea.
You can always say Colby Barlow.
Yeah. Yeah. Caleb Lawrence.
Which teammate takes the longest to answer their phone?
Depends. I'd say him, because like most of the time he's doing something, so he's not really on his phone. So.
Yeah. True. Me.
Last question. What's your Zach? You just kept putting the same questions into my thing. If you left, I like that question. If you left for the weekend and somebody had to house sit on the team, who would you let house sit your house?
Probably Burrows, because he's probably the dad on the team.
Probably Cal.
Now, who would you not want to house sit?
Sam, because he's the goofiest guy you'll ever meet, and him running a house is probably the most terrifying thing in the world.
Probably don't need it.
There we go. That was a really good edition of What's in the Helmet. Now, following the conclusion of Friday night's game, Mark McKelvey had an opportunity to catch up alongside Jordan Hill ringside.
By with On Sound Attack associate coach Jordan Hill following an attack overtime loss tonight to the Barrie Colts to cap off 2022. An exciting 2-game set this week here between Christmas and New Year's. 3 out of a possible 4 points going into this stretch. Would you have said 3 out of 4 would be all right?
Yeah, obviously if you can take 3 out of 4, that's obviously on the plus side, but clearly wanted to get greedy and get 2 points tonight, but I was very happy with our team's effort.
You battled back. We're down 3-0 in this game. Let's go back, though, at the end of the first period. The goaltending change there. Was that maybe just spark the team a little bit?
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, you know, you go down 3-0, things aren't going your way, even though I thought we quite honestly dominated the period. Like, it was crazy. It could have been 3-0 in our direction. So, yeah, it's just to jolt the team, but we didn't change a whole lot because I thought we did have a good first period. Obviously, there's times I thought laterally Ricky didn't play it probably the best, but at the end of the day, it's definitely a message just to get the group settled down and obviously turn the page with Corbin.
Certainly did turn the page, eventually did get things tied up, but I want to go back to the start of the third period. Late in the second, 2 seconds left, they scored to go up 4-2. Could have been a real backbreaker, but then 4 seconds into the period, you guys scored. Have you ever seen one that quick to start a period?
I said it right away, that's got to be a record. Like, there's no way there's something 3 seconds could not be done, I feel like. So 4's got to be a record.
It ties the record, franchise record and OHL record, so one that'll certainly stick out, but that had to be just a big boost for your team as the period begins right there.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was really happy for the kid too. Brendan's a great kid. He works hard. He does all the right things. So for him to get that opportunity and obviously capitalize on it right away, it was a feather in his cap.
Well, we know this game ended off the Colts score on the power play in overtime, but we go back to Wednesday night. It was overtime, this time coming out on top with Gavin Bryan getting the victory. But I just want to talk about how important that game was coming off the Christmas break and after the 6-game losing streak. What was the mood like for this team? How much did the break help, or did you guys feel like you just wanted to get back to it to kind of get things going?
No, I think clearly the breaks helped everybody. That's exhausting when things are going south, and obviously when things go south, it seems like it rains, it pours. So obviously with them scoring with a second left, it just felt like another backbreaker, but we were lucky enough to do the job in overtime and get the 2 points.
Looking ahead now, a 5-game road trip coming up. Starts first with the Eastern road trip. It's going to be a tough task. There's some pretty good teams over in the Eastern Conference, but an opportunity for this team to get away on a bit of a road trip. What are you expecting here, and how excited are you for another road trip with the guys?
Yeah, I'm excited to head to the Eastern Conference. We haven't been there in a few years with the whole COVID break and everything, and obviously last year with only playing the West. And yeah, I'm excited for the team bonding. That's a huge part of OHL hockey, is getting on the road and getting together with the guys and just having some fun, and obviously, bonding as a hockey club.
All right, well, we'll wish you the best of luck on that road trip, and we'll see you back in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, the Attack back in action next weekend as they go on the road to take on the Peterborough Peaks, the Kingston Frontenacs, and the Ottawa 67s.
Well, guys, I don't think you thought you'd be going to school today, but class is now in session. I'm going to get you guys to turn around and grab the whiteboard. We're going to have a little spelling bee.
This is a moment they've been dreading all episode long.
So, I'm going to give you 5 words, and you guys have to, they're going to go from skill level easy to hard.
Okay.
And we'll see if you can write these words down.
And you have to show the camera once you're done.
All right.
First one, Nolan Seed.
First and last?
First and last name. Last week, I just let him do the first.
You let them do the last name.
And it's getting a little harder each week, guys.
Great.
And turn and show the camera. Bingo.
They're 1 for 1.
1 for 1. Next, you guys can erase those.
Okay.
Oh, not on the nice sweater. Nicholas Chenard.
Just do Nick.
Okay.
We're not making them do Nicholas.
As the teacher on this, you do not run my segment. A name that you guys don't really see on the jersey very much because it's usually turned around, but that is how you write Nick Chenard. I was interested in seeing Nicholas. Zach vetoed me, but that's okay. We're going to go to the next one. This one gets a little harder because it's a different language. Cedric Guindon.
All right.
I'm just going to give you guys a hint. You guys are both missing a little something.
Yeah, I don't know, actually. I guess it's that.
Turn it.
Yes.
Ah, yep, both got it. You guys both got the Eric Santiago. I'm sure your French teachers are really happy with you.
Cedric?
As I am. Next one. Ethan Burrows. You guys are 2 for 2 right now. 3 for 3.
3 for 3.
Sound it out, it's okay.
I don't know if there's 2
Okay,
R's.
show the cameras. There is no E at the end of that. I'm sorry, you got that wrong, Taos. There's no E.
Barugs. I think we need another R.
You need another R.
Yeah, you were missing an R.
Nice try, Ethan. I'm sorry, but they need to look at the back of your
Sorry,
sticker
bro.
a little bit more.
Sorry.
Next one, Antonio Teresini.
Done. Oh, Teresini.
Show the cameras.
All right.
Oh, both got it wrong. There's no A. You're close, but there's no A. Erase the A, and you got it right. Tersini. It's Tersini. But everybody says Tersini. And last one.
This one's tough.
Bonus question. You guys get it 100% on my quiz if you get it right.
All right.
Lorenzo Bonaiuto. It is Bonaiuto. Nice try. Solid B though. It's a solid B. It's a passing grade. I accept it. You guys move on to grade 4.
Oh yeah.
So harsh on them. If we have you guys back on once again, I think we're going to change the game up. Maybe see if you guys know some knowledge from the top moments from this season. So that might be coming up later on in the season. We only have 1 minute left, guys. You probably have friends, family watching this. What's a message you have for them, for everyone watching back home?
Just thank you, everybody, for helping me out throughout my career, and I appreciate you guys a lot, and I love you all.
Yeah, thank you very much. My mom, my dad, my sister, grandparents, appreciate you all.
Taos Jordan and Teddy Sawyer, 2 defensemen for the Owen Sound Attack. A lot of fun, a lot of laughs. Best of luck this weekend to the both of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
On behalf of Adrien, Mouseeau, Teddy, and Taos, I'm Zach Scribner. We'll see you guys next Tuesday evening for another episode of Attack Rap. We'll see you at the rink January 14th when the Guelph Storm come to town. Thank you very much for watching Attack Rap on Rogers TV.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdsville, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
Watching hockey just got a power play with NHL Center Ice and Super Sports Pack. With up to 37 out-of-market NHL games a week,